Coming up on Around San Diego, as immigration raids continue nationwide, we'll look at how San Diego area colleges are responding on campus. And the new U.S. Attorney General says that she will be targeting sanctuary cities. San Diego is one. Why officials say this won't impact their policies. Plus, we're learning more about the health impacts of the South Bay sewage crisis. What's finally being done next. Sincerely hope your February is off to a great start. Thank you so much for joining me as I take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We begin with President Trump's continued push for border reform and how it's impacting our border town.
Unless we are absolutely required to, we will not facilitate that kind of activity on our campus.
That is how some San Diego area colleges are responding to the immigration raids happening nationwide. The San Diego Unified School District also telling us they will not give access to ICE without a warrant, saying its schools are safe spaces. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has more on education and immigration policy.
Under the Trump administration, colleges and universities are not exempt from immigration law enforcement, which means ICE can come onto campus, but it doesn't mean that staff and students have to cooperate.
California law prohibits our district from participating in any way in immigration enforcement.
On Monday, San Diego Community College District Chancellor Gregory Smith posted this video to YouTube discussing their immigration enforcement policy.
And our Board of Trustees has been clear. They want to make sure we're compliant with state law to the maximum extent possible.
Per the district's policy, which covers San Diego City College, San Diego Mesa College, San Diego Miramar College, and the San Diego College of Continuing Education, staff cannot assist ICE with immigration enforcement nor share students' personal information unless there is a warrant or judicial order requiring them to do so.
There needs to be a court with independent jurisdiction compelling our district to release information or access to individuals.
If ICE agents come onto campus, they need to be directed to the district office, where only he or general counsel can determine if they're bound to comply.
So somebody just trying to walk onto the campus at San Diego City College, for example, and walk into our cafeteria space, that's not where we conduct business with government agencies.
In his video, Chancellor Smith tells staff what to do if they're approached by ICE.
You should simply inform them that you are not authorized to speak with them.
Today, the district printed 10,000 of these cards to pass out, so they have the option to not speak to them at all.
It simply asserts, I'm not authorized to provide that to you. Here's where you can go get that authorization.
If a student is approached, Chancellor Smith says they should ask if they're being detained and if not, walk away. I checked with other San Diego area colleges who have similar policies in place. A spokesperson for the University of San Diego told me they will not disclose any immigration information about students or staff except in response to a judicial warrant, subpoena, or other legal mandate, adding the Department of Public Safety will not assist law enforcement agencies in immigration enforcement activities on campus unless required by a valid legal mandate. Meanwhile, UC San Diego will not release anyone's immigration status unless legally bound, and UCSD police will not help with enforcement. The California State University system, which includes San Diego State and San Marcos, has the same policy in place. Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
And the California Attorney General just released new guidance for schools facing immigration enforcement. AG Rob Bonta is also pushing back against President Trump's executive order on transgender rights.
California's schools are and will remain a welcoming, inclusive, and safe place for all. Regardless.
So more of that guidance is available on the Attorney General's website in multiple languages. It outlines steps schools must take to protect student privacy and rights. Meantime, California lawmakers are working to advance a bill that could prohibit ICE agents from entering schools without a judicial warrant. It also looks to reinforce protections for undocumented families by banning the disclosure of records. The bill aims to prevent attendance drops linked to deportation fears. State leaders say it cost schools $8 billion during President Trump's first term. Now, this comes as the country's new attorney general is taking aim at so-called sanctuary jurisdictions, including San Diego County. Pam Bondi is banning federal funding to sanctuary cities and counties that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. But county leaders say this will not change their current policy.
Not going to be participating in any type of effort around mass deportation.
What this means, if sanctuary cities up and down the state are denied funds, if we don't have judges step in and have a temporary restraining order, that could block more than $1 billion across the country in funds that have nothing to do with immigration.
The Trump administration tried to block sanctuary funding during his first term. The courts ultimately struck down that move. And the Chula Vista Police Department is also weighing in. The department says it's following California law by not enforcing current federal immigration laws. They say their focus is public safety for everyone in our community. Officers added they do not ask about immigration status during an arrest. Staying on the border, we are learning more about the Mexican troops now in Tijuana. They are deployed along the border wall and our coastline. This is part of the deal with the president, the deal the president of Mexico made with President Trump over tariffs. Mexico has agreed to send 10,000 troops to enforce border security and help prevent the trafficking of fentanyl into the United States.
Several members of the community or organizations that are questioning how effective just to put the guards along the border will be in an effort to curtail crime in general.
Yeah, so that pause on tariffs in Mexico is only set to last 1 month. We shall see. Well, it's been an issue for decades, and now we have the numbers that confirm just how hard the sewage crisis has impacted our beautiful South Bay. County leaders just presented the results of a CDC survey that shows 70% of nearby residents have experienced health issues related to the constant flow of sewage from Mexico. Migraines, nausea, and coughing were some of the top symptoms reported. Nearly 30% of households have changed the source of their drinking water as well since the sewage crisis began. Residents say they find the results disheartening.
The process is all obviously with an issue like this. It's disappointing.
I am optimistic, but seeing like the history of the problem, it's not very uplifting.
Yeah, stay optimistic. Right now, we know $250 million was secured to fully repair the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. The survey results will be used to push for more funding and immediate improvements. Well, State Farm Insurance is seeking an emergency rate hike in California following the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The company wants an immediate 22% increase in homeowners' premiums after paying out more than $1 billion in claims. State Farm says it's critical to rebuild capital and prevent potential downgrades that could affect mortgaged homeowners. The California Department of Insurance is now investigating the request, citing concerns about State Farm's financial stability. Well, the National City woman who was once given the title Teacher of the Year pleaded guilty to 4 charges of sexual misconduct with 2 minors. Jacqueline Ma, who taught at Lincoln Acres Elementary School, was first arrested in March of 2023. The victims were under 14 years old at that time. At this week's hearing, she changed her plea to guilty, avoiding a trial. She faces 30 years to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Ma is set to be sentenced on May 9th. Up next, an incredible sight just to our north. Must-see video of a pod of orca whales as we continue to take you around San Diego.
Of our new day begun, let us march on.
Yeah, hundreds of San Diego Unified students celebrated the start of Black History Month with a flag-raising ceremony. This annual event took place at the Eugene Brucker Education Center in University Heights. Before raising that flag, students performed poetry and other written work to share their stories and express what Black History Month means to them. Well, meantime, Feeding San Diego is expanding a popular program that helps ensure local students have something to eat outside of school. The school pantry program feeds roughly 6,000 households. Thanks to a fundraising campaign, that number is expected to jump to 11,000. The program offers free or reduced priced meals at schools with a high number of eligible students.
Just a lot on our families' plates and a lot of choices that families have to make, whether it's choosing between healthcare and food or current bills and food. We like to provide the food to take that burden off of their plates so they can focus on other areas.
The program will expand to 58 schools in the county, but another 27 schools are still on the waiting list. For more information or to donate, go to CBS8.com and click on this story. I just volunteered there. Well, if you've been in Pacific Beach recently, you may have noticed a lot of construction equipment, including a giant crane at the entrance of Crystal Pier. Crews are busy making much-needed safety repairs there on the pier. We're told construction workers are replacing planks on the deck. They are also replacing more than a half a dozen pilings under the pier. City leaders say those pilings were damaged by storms and high surf as far back as 2023. Construction workers tell us they expect their work to continue for another 3 to 4 weeks. Glad they're doing it. Well, a rare sight off the Orange County coast, a unique pod of orcas spotted just 2.5 miles from the Newport Beach harbor. The sighting has marine experts and whale watchers really buzzing. It's incredible. CBS 8's Alex Lai gives us a closer look.
It was an unforgettable moment for lucky passengers on whale watching boats that day. They got an extremely up-close view. When we say up close, we mean up close.
It's inspiring, it's magical, it's tranquil, but also very exciting in the same moment.
Jessica Rodriguez with Newport Landing and Davies Locker Whale Watching rushed out to sea when the orcas were spotted.
Just out of nowhere, one of our captains looked through the binoculars, saw a giant splash, and saw the dorsal fins and was like, oh man, we hit the jackpot.
Usually orca sightings are fleeting and far away, but the boat stuck around for 3.5 hours.
So amazing to be able to see something that's like National Geographic quality. Animal behavior is happening right in front of you, so you're in the right place at the right time.
Spotting orcas in itself is rare, but this specific pod has only been documented 7 times since 1993. The pod is made up of 2 females and 3 kids, and sometimes goes 6 to even 8 years between sightings. Last week's sighting near Newport Beach is the furthest south this pod has been spotted. The whales were last seen near the San Onofre area Thursday evening, and it's unclear where they went to.
Killer whales are kind of like wolves in that they're moving around based on where their food is.
The orcas are transient killer whales, which means they don't have a predictable migration pattern, and it's hard to know when and where they will appear. But there are hints as to where they may have gone.
On Saturday, there was a report of a gray whale carcass with a missing head off the Los Angeles area with killer whale rake marks.
And who knows, maybe they'll pay a visit to San Diego.
Well, their range can be from Alaska all the way down to Mexico, but if they do show up, that will be definitely a record.
In fact, 3 orcas were spotted here at La Jolla Shores last year. I reached out to a few whale watching companies in San Diego and am told they're keeping an eye out for the pod. Alex Lai, CBS 8.
Right in our own backyard. So incredible. Still ahead in an Earth 8 report, we'll tell you about a hidden gem right off the 5 that you may have never even noticed. Welcome back. Well, right off of the busy 5 freeway in Solana Beach, there's a hidden gem that you may have never noticed. The Elijo Lagoon, it's beautiful, and there are 2 young women helping protect the lagoon for all of us to enjoy. CBS 8's Nader Ranpour shows us how they're doing that ahead of International Day of Women and Girls in Science in this Earth 8 report.
When you love being out in nature, it's hard not to want to protect it. That's the reason these young ladies have ventured out into the water, wearing waders and all.
I've never worn waders like these before.
They gently walk into the Elijo Lagoon. Once they're about waist high, they get out their sensors.
We take our handheld device and we put it out on a boat hook and extend it out into the water.
And gather important data at various depths in the water.
This information tells us just the overall health of the lagoon.
They check the oxygen, temperature, and salinity levels.
We'll look at changes over time, and this will indicate whether events are happening.
The lagoon's health in the water is really important for making sure that the plants and animals stay healthy as well, and they're getting all the nutrients they need.
Olivia Boitano and Jordan Legree are water quality monitoring interns with the Nature Collective. They're doing the important work, keeping tabs on a body of water that connects so much.
The lagoon is a natural filter for pollutants, and it will provide clean air and water for all biodiversity and humans to use. This lagoon also acts as a natural floodplain, so it can help mitigate against high precipitation events and prevent runoff and flooding.
This beautiful watershed providing food for all of these coots, becoming a safe haven for deer. Look at how many of them. It also brings together the salt water from the Pacific Ocean with fresh water, all tucked away under the busy 5 freeway. If you drive by too fast, you'll miss it.
It's so interesting, and I feel like I drove by it a lot growing up and never really took the time to stop by, but yeah, it's a great place to be and so peaceful, and I would highly recommend people stop by.
It's a unique and vast space teeming with variety. It's also a flight line for migratory birds, which makes it a valuable lifeline.
We have a lot of migrating birds right now. As you can see, there's a lot of coots and Canadian geese that are all landing here for the season.
The longer we're out here, the more we can appreciate every hidden creature, tucked away in the plants, but sometimes appearing after moments of stillness. It's these moments that make members of the Nature Collective feel like this is the right path for them. Now, going beyond the water, you'll notice all of these trails. There's about 8 miles of trail connected to the lagoon for you to walk and hike, and keep your eye out for about 1,000 different species here on this nearly 1,000-acre area of protected land. It's a marine protected area too, which means no fishing. It's also home to endangered species, which calls for extra work in preservation, something Brenna O'Brien is proud to help teach and navigate as the operations assistant of the Nature Collective.
To understand things so closely is really special.
She's also a mentor to interns interested in the same fields of environmental science, climate change, and conservation.
I love being able to just talk about something I care so much about with other people who also care about it.
So when things get hectic in your day-to-day life,
it's a really amazing hidden gem here in Solana Beach and Encinitas.
Why not take a moment to come out here?
I think it's a great place to come outdoors and learn about wildlife.
Breathe the fresh air, spot a species or two, and as you do that, take note, there is a team of women scientists and aspiring environmentalists who help make all of this possible. For Earth 8 at the Elijo Lagoon, I'm Netta Iranpour.
Yeah, and Annie's Canyon is one of the trails back there. Absolutely recommend it. So sincerely, thank you for the work they're doing. That will do it for us. Thank you for your time as well. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care of yourself and each other.